everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for a Maritime Mysteries reading. We're exploring the peculiar and strange disappearance of Kevin McGrath, a 26-year-old father of two, who was last seen on September 4th, 2023, aboard the Conquest Carnival Cruise Ship. He was with 40 family members celebrating his father's 60th birthday, and this was like one of those weekend type cruises that was going from Miami to the Bahamas and back. He is from Port Lucie, and that's in Florida, by the way, and he's a 6-year U.S. Army veteran who has served in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. His two children live with their mother in Tennessee. So from what I can gather is that he is no longer married or maybe estranged from his, the wife and mother of his children. I did hesitate on doing this reading, or at least publishing a reading related to Kevin's disappearance. And here's why. On September 16th, I did a reading just for my eyes only to gauge what may have happened. In that reading, it was revealed to me what has most likely happened or transpired. And I grappled with publishing a reading, and Spirit was like, no, go ahead and publish it. And I'm like, okay. So what I've decided to do is to do an opening reading with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, see what comes up with that. If there's any additional questions I need to ask that weren't covered in my pre-private reading, then I will do that as well today at the reading table. Thereafter, what I will share with you is a picture of the spread I took on September 16th, and we're going to compare and contrast what we're seeing in that picture. And I really feel in my heart of hearts that reading that I did on September 16th really says and speaks to what happened. And I just have to, before we go any further, I just have to send love and prayers for strength and peace for his family, because I know this is a very trying and difficult time. And when you are navigating these types of things, it can just really feel like the world is weighing down on you. So I just want to send some love to them. Anyways, why don't we go ahead and get started, because we do have a lot to cover, and I do want to share with you the picture that I took of the reading I did on the 16th. So be sure to watch the video all the way through. I will timestamp it as well, so you can be able to easily, go back and forth throughout the reading. Let's get started. Okay, so let's tap into what are the energies surrounding Kevin Sean McGrath's disappearance. What's behind it? What happened? If you would like to share state of being, that would be great. I'm going to put all these back only because I want just 1 to 3 cards. And that was probably a fumble. It's a little deck. It's kind of hard to shuffle at times, but I'll show you. Spirit, what happened? Where is he? What was going on? Oh my goodness. I cannot shuffle today. It's like my hands are sticky from humidity. It's really humid. Really, really humid. What happened, Spirit? Share with us. So I'm going to show you. We got the Wheel, Dove, harp, key, factory, fish, pentagram, one more spirit, one more card, please. Snake. All right, now I'm going to zoom in so we can get a close-up look at this spread. Okay. Just looking at his picture as well. All right. Let's bring you guys up there. So we have the wheel. And right off the bat, I mean, doesn't this look like a ship's wheel, like, steering wheel? This card's key meaning is about making progress. One of the key sentences on the guidebook for this card is venturing into one's destiny, travel, coming around full circle. Okay? All right. We have this Dove card. Whenever this card comes up, I'll be frank with you, this usually tells me about someone who has entered the peaceful time of transition, crossing over. Now, of course, we want a favorable outcome for him, whatever that may be, whatever God sees fit. But this is about peace, a time of harmony, blessings, healing. And it's sitting next to the will card about venturing into one's destiny. They were traveling, they were on a ship, but venturing into one's destiny, when you think of the bigger picture, when we're asking about what may have happened to him, this could be him flying away. Some people have a theory that Kevin had, orchestrated this whole thing with or without family's help so that he could, flee some challenging situations in his life. From what I gather, what recently has come out is that, yes, he's separated from his wife. There is a child support order. I think some people were saying the number was like $5,000 in back child support, which isn't a lot of money. I mean, it sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, of like what I've known people who owe child support, like they have huge debts compared to that. Also, I couldn't get a concrete answer on what was his discharge. Was it honorable? Was it medical? Was it just a discharge? He was serving in the U.S. Army for at least 6 years. He also was found to be on felony probation for, I think, it was like something about, the gist of it was like an assault or a threat of assault with a deadly weapon, which turned out to be a firearm. So, and it happened like November of 2020, and he was sentenced in 2022, and he was on probation at least to 2028. That, I would have to triple verify that, but I'm just sharing some different things that are going on in his life at the moment, in the midst of celebrating his father's birthday, okay, 60th birthday, a milestone birthday. He has a twin brother. They look fraternal. They come from a big family, loving family, from what I can tell. So this was going to be a harmonious trip to bring about peace to a situation. And maybe there were some revelations that came up for him during this little short trip. Maybe he started to fantasize about the peace that he was going to encounter on the trip, and he wanted to keep that peace going beyond the trip. We have Dove, now Harp. Again, another card about peace. The key words here, peace. Both of these have keywords like harmony, peace, at the very beginning of their guidebook meaning. Serenity, rejuvenation. Serenity, rejuvenation. I'm getting a sense, and this is just me, just based on these cards here, the top row, that he may have crossed over. Let me know what you all think, what theories you have. Being mindful and respectful of, the fact that his friends and family could be viewing this video at any point. Thank you for that, for your consideration. Key. Now, let's talk about this key card for a minute. The key word or phrase is freedom or imprisonment, resolving a mystery, keeping something safe, or unlocking something, right? I'm adding the unlocking part. What is he unlocking? This trip unlocked something for peace. I mean, it says here, freedom or imprisonment, locked away or open, wide open. I mean, I suppose this theory of him fleeing to escape all the troubles he was experiencing, that could be very much a viable theory. However, the bottom row, the fish sitting under the dove card, tells me that he may not be with us anymore. The key card is also saying that this mystery will be resolved, which is awesome. We want resolution. We, as the viewing public, may not get all the answers. This may be something that only the family finds out about, but nevertheless, there is going to be information that comes about that solves this mystery of what happened to him. Now we have the factory card. I would like to talk a little bit more about that. Sorry for the noises in the background or notifications. We have the factory card. Hard work, industrious, bringing ideas into reality. What is he bringing into reality? Doing something about his situation. Doing something about his situation, making things work. Something maybe weighing on him as it relates to making progress in his career life or work life. When I saw the fish card, I'm not going to lie to you. It literally meant to me like swimming with the fishes or being with the fishes or being in the ocean. Doesn't necessarily have to mean that that's my own key meaning. Some of the key phrases that stand out to me as it relates to this situation is unconscious thoughts. Maybe there was unconscious longing for peace in his life. You have to understand, this young man has seen a lot. He has been in the military for 6 years. He has served in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. We know that those areas are, it's so much scarring. Post-traumatic stress disorder could have been gained while being in those spaces. Let's just say that, okay? Let's call a spade. And things weren't going so well in his life upon return from serving, right? He was on felony probation. He was estranged from his family. He owed child support. And so this cruise feels like it was a respite for him. It was a time to just rejuvenate. It was a time to spend carefree moments with the people he loved most in the world. Aside from probably his children, of course, but So that's what stood out to me as far as a guidebook key meaning with this fish card was the unconscious thoughts. It represents suspicions. There's been a lot of suspicion shrouded here about people who may work on the ship, knowing or having information or even having some involvement in his disappearance. And the reason being, we find with the pentagram card, this is about, it's about earthly matters, money, humanity, material gain. But you know what? The key word that really stands out to me is the sum of a lifetime of choices. In context with Carnival Cruise Lines, you know, this could say that there's some suspicion shrouded around whether or not they're hiding something as it relates to material gain. I can see that. And even if no employees had anything to do with it, I do have a sense that they, being Carnival Cruise Line people, authorities, they know and have an idea of what happened to him, but to protect their image, they are electing not to reveal too much too soon. So that's what I'm picking up on here. This is also as it relates to the snake card. Okay. So I'm not going to rule out that they don't know anything. I do feel like if some employees know something, that doesn't mean that they have involvement. I suppose the snake card could allude to that. Could be. The snake card's key words are fear, sexual fantasies, and temptations. For me, I get a sense that fear is what is at hand here. Oh my goodness. The wind is picking up. My apologies for all the sounds and notifications. When we move on to part 2, I'll turn off my phone notifications. Anywho, sometimes the snake can represent a poisonous situation, a poisonous snake. You know, placing yourself in a situation of, you know, something happening to you. That could be what that's about. The pentagram card is a sum of one's life's choices, right? So it would stand to reason that maybe it's the person himself, Kevin himself, the sum of his choices, putting him into a precarious situation. And the only way he sees in or out in this life is to deal with this in a way of trying to find peace. All right, my friends, I'm going to pause here for a moment to turn off these pesky phone notifications, and then we're going to pull another deck and keep going. I'll be right back. All right, so we are back. Let's look at the divine shadow. Let's see, what are the divine shadow aspects? Humiliation, aggression, rebellious, rejection, envy, all right, I'm gonna just stop there for a moment. Let's talk about these cards here. So we have closed off. I'm getting a sense that Kevin could have been closed off. Maybe he felt like certain people were closed off to him. Maybe he felt like an outsider. And in a way, it was like maybe him harboring kind of some feelings of resentment and vindictiveness about it. Maybe feeling like the black sheep of the family. I don't know if that makes any sense, or if that, you know, I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm picking up on here. I'm saying that because we got the rebellious and rejection card sitting under the closed off card. There's envy here. There's vindictiveness. I'm going to zoom in for just a moment so you guys can really see it. We have humiliation. Who was humiliated? Was it him? Was it his soon-to-be ex-wife, if not ex-wife? Was it his family members? Was it him? Maybe he was humiliated. Maybe something happened on the ship that was humiliating. Maybe not. Maybe there was something preceding in his life that was humiliating. Maybe something to do with whether or not he could work or can't work. You know, having offspring to support, aggression. As it relates to feeling these ways, there's aggression picking up. There's aggression. Feeling rejected. Rejected from society, rejected from family. From what I can tell, his family adores him a lot, okay? But sometimes in our minds, we can start to tell ourselves a story. This is the will card here. Telling ourselves a story about, what our family thinks, what people think of us. We tell ourselves a story about what we think of ourselves. We reject our own greatness oftentimes. We feel like a reject. We feel like we're never good enough, can't measure up. There's envy as it relates to that. Maybe envy of relatives, envy of his brother, envy of friends. There's envy here. Could be that people are jealous of him. Very well could be, I suppose. Disconnection. Starting to become disengaged, disconnected, disinterested. This is signs to me of depression. Now, I know from all accounts, everybody was saying he was in good spirits. He looked like he was in good spirits. But many of us who have suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder or generalized anxiety disorder or depression or other, disorders that relate to the mind, we can put on a strong face, can't we? And so what happens is the family and those around us become complacent. There are signs that show up that say this person is disconnected. But because they are constantly putting on a mask, constantly, closed off to their true self and their true feelings and true thoughts, we just become complacent because the rest of us are living life. There's, no judgment there. Everybody's doing the best that they can. But in that, what happens is that there's a disconnect of being able to see some important signs here. All right, I'll be back. So now we're going to look at the Dark Mirror Oracle. I like to pull from here from time to time just to see, Spirit, what can you share about Kevin's disappearance? Kevin himself, Kevin's disappearance. And I know that they were saying that hold on, I want to pause here for a moment. There's cameras on the boat, but nothing was picked up from what was released to the public of him going overboard. I also have heard that there are cruise ships that are equipped with this overboard notification system, like a sensor. But this particular line, the Conquest, was an older ship, cruise line, and it wasn't equipped. And so, some people are thinking that also maybe he snuck off the ship at the time of disembarkation. That's a possibility. But it also is very much a possibility that he went overboard. It's just that he was able to do it unnoticed. Or at least what he thought would be unnoticed, or what, look, this card persisted and came out again. This is interesting to me. All right, so we've got Black Flower Fragrance and Revenge. Now, interestingly enough, we've got Rebellious, Envy, Humiliation, and Vindictive. Vindictive goes with revenge. Sometimes we want to get back at the people that are closest to us, and sometimes we want to get back at people who are strangers to us. I will be frank here. I do not pick up energetically that there was something going on in terms of like employee involvement or someone he got tangled up with on the boat or cruise line. I know there's some people who carry that theory, and I respect it. I suppose the factory card could support your point in your theory, but I'm not picking up on that. Let's look at the guidebook for the Dark Mirror Oracle for Black Flower Fragrance. Okay, the stage of it is anger. It says, the world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world. Fuck you. That's what it says in the guidebook right there. Remember, vindictive. Somebody feeling vindictive. Towards who? Towards what? The world. If we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop the evening, but embrace the night. I'm just gonna pick some sentences that stand out to me. It says, even if you are wrong, you still have the right to be angry. Even if you're not perfect, you have the right to be respected. Even if you are stupid, you have the right to be listened to. Even if you are lucky, you have the right to complain. Even if you are rich, you have the right to be sad. If you cannot shine because you are beautiful, then shine even if you are ugly. Shine because you are ugly. Gorgeously black, ugly as love, worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. Wow. Wow. Something happened in the dark. There's some vindictiveness, like, I'll show you, world. I'll show you. Revenge. That is the next card, which I would imagine, I wonder if the stage is anger. Lots of anger. Lots of anger. We see that here with the aggression. Okay. It is time to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing in them. That's what this says here. The sentence, there is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. I'm going to now read this because I feel called to read it pretty much verbatim. What if there was a place where there is no more time for words, no more sense to bargain or negotiate, no more survival instinct to accept fear or ponder consequences? It's a place we can reach at the limit of our abuse, with the last spark of our dignity surging up a powerful black flame. We cry, we hurt, and we strike to destroy. We destroy not for ourselves because we are gone. We destroy for the fairness of the world. We destroy because if there is no sweet justice, there can at least be cruel revenge. We destroy for those who came earlier, for those who would have come later. We destroy as we destroy, we forsake ourselves. There is no going back because coming back from that requires much more than force. Okay. Spirit has spoken on that. Wow. Wow. So now we're going to move into the tarot portion of this reading. I do have some additional questions to ask. What was Kevin's state of mind on the morning he went missing, or even, the weekend into the morning? So we could ask that. We got 6 of water. Oh, this is interesting. There was a change, a choice. 2 of earth, juggling, defeat. Okay. All right, so at the start of the trip, we've got 6 of cups or 6 of water. This is about happiness, joy, nostalgia, being with family, enjoying your time together, really. And I would even say that he was really looking forward to this trip as an opportunity to really connect with his family, the people he loved most. However, I do get a sense that he was dealing with something He was juggling things with the Two of Earth. Two of Earth is Two of Pentacles. He was having to make a choice between something, a big choice. And this is a card that's interesting to me. It shows up when we're facing big life decisions. So at least when I use this deck in these types of readings, I should say. Two of Pentacles in and of itself could just sometimes mean you're having a lot of balls in the air that you're juggling. And it's just meaning you have to get a little bit more creative and choose to multitask. But when we're talking about someone who's missing and you see the seasonal changes here, you know, that to me does denote some kind of ending and a beginning, and having and being the one to choose what ends and what begins. And so him having to be at a point of choice. And I feel like he was at a point of choice for some time. I'm going to let you all know that the Two of Earth, which has the keyword change, Kevin had been dealing with some changes in his life about 2 years preceding his disappearance, really going through some changes and having to juggle a lot and it weighing on him. And yeah, I think that we're going to find out more in early autumn, which we are in right now, of all the changes that he had been going through. And this also could denote that we'll be finding out about him making some sort of transition in early autumn. The last card, this card represents the morning of, I sense. It says the Five of Air, defeat, feeling like he lost, feeling a sense of loss. This is his state of mind, and feeling defeated, feeling like he was taking a fleeting moment of feeling defeated and having that color his whole experience. It was almost like as they got closer to Miami on the cruise coming back home, so that, you know, as they were going to get ready to disembark, it was like it mounted on him of how much he was losing, and it just weighed heavily on him. He felt like he was in the world, he felt like he was the prey of this spider. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep. Just want to pick up on their state of mind. Intense. Living in a fantasy. Oh, fell on the floor. Let's reshuffle. What was the state of mind? Depressive vibe. Okay. All right. So intense emotions, intense highs and lows, as you can see here, with the Six of Cups, loving, emotional feelings, feeling great. It's what we call the familiar card. The, nostalgia, being with family, being with loved ones, looking back, thinking about memories. And then that changing and then going into defeat. We have intense, intense, intense. I keep hearing that over and over again. Living in a fantasy. This trip could have been allowing him to live in a temporary fantasy. Maybe up until the trip, he was living in a fantasy. And then it all came crashing down as he was getting ready to come back to Miami. We have depressive vibe. Depressive vibe. Sitting underneath defeat. So this is his state of mind. This is what I'm picking up on here. Let me know what you think to this question, okay? But depressive vibe tells me a lot. It all ties in together about the highs and lows, the intense feelings of what he may have been going through as they approach the dock. From what I gather, he didn't sleep at all that night. They have a video of him, kind of grooving and enjoying the music at like the little club that was DJing and playing music. I don't know if they had a band or not, but there was passengers who videotaped him showed him just kind of, chilling. It was like 2 a.m, and then 3:30. His brother mentioned that the key card opened the door and Kevin came in, but then I'm hearing some rumors that around 5:30 the door opens again, so that would probably indicate that Kevin went out again, out of the room. The room was an interior room of the ship, not one with a balcony as well. So he goes out. So he never really got any sleep that night as they approached Miami. Let's see if Spirit will tell us what happened to Kevin. We have Temperance. Ooh. Temperance. Both of these cards were kind of sideways. It's interesting to me. It's showing someone in water, finding balance, harmony in water. And then this card was sideways. 9 of Air, 9 of Swords. It says cruelty. Okay, cruelty. Cruel to who? Sometimes this card, when I see the 9 of Swords, oftentimes it speaks to me of someone who has done something to themselves. They are putting themselves through unspeakable stress that keeps them up at night. And this is about being in a body of water. Okay. They have looked high and low on that ship from what I heard, and they did not find him. Some people believe that he may still be on the boat. What do you think? Do you think he's still on the boat? I don't know. But we've got local. So this is saying that, to me, he lived in Florida. So within the state. So he's coming back, going to disembark. This is telling me this happened close to Florida, not necessarily local in the Bahamas. Okay. This was local. This was close to where they were going to disembark, is what I'm sensing here. We did have a physical altercation. Now this could, lead some, credence to those who are saying that maybe he got into it with someone or something. But I sense, when I see this physical card, fighting with oneself, doing something to be cruel to oneself, and doing something harmful to oneself. That is just me. That's just what I'm picking up on intuitively. And there's evidence of that. There's evidence of a physical altercation that's someone native to him, But I sense that what Spirit is trying to say is that with these cards that he has made a transition. It was somebody, I think himself, being cruelty on the key word here, to himself. And it was close to home. Maybe this could even denote he got into a physical altercation with maybe a loved one or a friend that he made on the ship, and that sent him over. There is evidence of that, maybe statements that are not made public, okay? That could be surveillance of this altercation happening that has not been made public. Doesn't mean that whoever he got into an altercation with or an argument with had anything to do with what happened to him. It's just that it was like the tipping of things. I have to also let you know, I know I've been having a lot of distractions as I'm doing this reading. There is a thunderstorm, and so the power could go out. I'll try to keep recording, and there could be claps of thunder, just so you know. All right, let's move on to the next question. Where is Kevin? I don't know if Spirit is gonna share this. I don't know, but we'll see, I have a deck Where is it? It's all the way over there. We'll see. We'll see. As you can see, I'm not picking up that there is third-party involvement. I do pick up on Carnival trying to protect themselves, liably so, but I'm not picking up on anything to do with, oh my God, this car jump. I'm not picking up on third-party involvement. December. I wonder if December is when they might find him. Maybe, or find more answers as to what happened. Yeah, I'm not getting no. I'll stop there for now. I was hoping that this was gonna like say, because sometimes in this deck, the Divine Crime Oracle, they have like 200 to 500 kilometers. But here's the thing. I sense that he's in the water. I'm going to tell you why. We have the Temperance card that indicates that. In the reading that I'm going to show you after I do this one, the picture, there's indication to me that he's in the water. And sometimes when you go into the water, our bodies aren't designed to be in water for long periods of time. There is, animal activity that could, affect the body. There's, the water can affect the body, and it could be very difficult to find, our bodies once it goes into the water. So that's what I think here is like this. You know how they say mountain high, valley low? It's like something, that's what I sense is what Spirit is saying here. This is like, if you're expecting to necessarily find him right away, or expect, just because you haven't found him right away, that this has not been what has transpired, we would be on the wrong track, is what Spirit is saying. Father of air is almost like God calling our children home. We have the Universe card, traditionally the World card, but I find it interesting that it's the Universe that I was called to use this deck. The Universe has called their child back home, answering the call of the mind with the Father of air. Okay, we have the S card. So that is what I will kind of give you a spoiler alert about what came up in my reading on September 16th. This is where I was leaning to as well. Sometimes we can take our life and it could be a snap judgment. Sometimes it can be that we change our minds in the last moment, but by then it's too late. We've already set something into motion. That term that comes up with the pentagram card earlier, the sum of our life of choices, right? We have the December card. I don't know when his birthday is, but it was interesting to me. Temperance represents the time period of November 21st to December 20th. Perhaps maybe the family getting into full understanding of what happened as it relates to Kevin during that time period. And maybe it could be even a settlement. I don't know. December is of importance. Finding him, finding more information. Even if they find him next week, there's something of significance for the family in particular in December. So that, could be a carnival settlement, for example. I'm not trying to pin nothing on Carnival, other than I do believe, and this is my belief, that they do have evidence and information that tells them what happened or gives them a strong clue of what happened. There's information there. Known to the victim. It's interesting to me. Known to the victim to me could mean known about the victim, known about maybe certain struggles he may have been dealing with, known to the victim of someone who got into this altercation. It wasn't like a stranger. So it could be, that would be interesting to see how that unfolds as time goes on and we get more information. Okay. And I just get a sense that he was close and that maybe he will come ashore somewhere. Or maybe there's some kind of piece of, clothing or something that gives us a clue. as to where he may have gone off to. Now, with all that being said, and when you see the last part of this video where I demonstrate to you what came up in my September 16th reading, some could even argue that he has made all of this up to make it seem like he took his life, but that he's starting a new life somewhere else. That could demonstrate this all here. Living in a fantasy. He's depressed, so he wants to do something about it. He wants to make a choice to start over. I can see that argument, but there's a lot to this that I'm sensing and picking up intuitively, that he felt the closer he got back to home, the more helpless he felt. Okay, that's just me. I'm curious to hear what you all think. Where's my other deck? Did he cause his own disappearance, and why? Now with the World card did jump, I'm going to stick it here for a moment. I want to know why. Okay. This does answer yes, that somehow, some way he has a hand in what happened to him. Even just some key words here: completion, accomplishment, travel, celebration of life, arriving, and I will even add departure. That's not on here. Seizing an opportunity to end something and to start anew. The world, something coming to an end. Why? The High Priestess in reverse is about secrets, harm. It says here, hidden agenda, disconnected from intuition, withdrawal, silence, selfish, shallowness, ignorance, misunderstanding. A misunderstanding about everything that he was going through was short term, including his legal troubles, including his financial issues. Temporary. But sometimes when we're already in a state like this, everything can pile up and feel like the world is crushing you. Okay? The world is crushing me. I want to know, Spirit, did Carnival know what happened, such as by way of surveillance? Okay, I'm going to ask that. They're burdened by this whole thing. Bad publicity, I'll tell you that. But I want to know, Spirit, did Carnival, let me first ask this. Does Carnival have an idea of what happened? Eight of Wands would indicate yes, they did have an idea. They quickly thereafter, they know. They've made a quick decision not to say anything too hastily, to convey any messages too fast, but they knew right away, pretty much right away, what may have happened. Okay? They did. I don't know if they conveyed that to family. Like, is there evidence that leads Carnival to believe that? Yes. Wheel of Fortune affirms yes, there is evidence, such as surveillance, such as information about his past. The investigation is also being handled by the Miami Police Department. So there's something that came about what was going on in his life. Some cycles he was dealing with. Ups and downs, and, you know. So these two cards do affirm that, yes, Carnival knows, allegedly. And they just made swift decisions on how they were going to release information. And they do have some sort of evidence to lead them to believe that they're sure about what may have happened. Okay? Okay. One moment, babe. Let's see. Did he cause his own disappearance? We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. That would indicate yes. And it also gives us the reason why. It can denote that people unwittingly helped him just by coming on this trip. They didn't realize that it may have what's going to end like this. This is not to blame anybody. Again, sum of choices here. In reverse, the King of Pentacles. So upright, we have a yes. It affirms yes, that he is the one. He is this man depicted. But in reverse, what is it about this man? This man may have indulged a lot, experienced a lot of material loss, obsessed with appearances and feeling inept, financially inept as a man. That's the reason why he ushered in this or orchestrated this situation. If this was a card that depicted other people, say the Ten of Pentacles, or just a card that shows multiple people involved in the, I'm trying to think of other cards that could show other people, maybe the Six of Swords, the Death card even, the Six of Pentacles. There's different cards that would have multiple people depicted, and that could signify that maybe there was someone who actually wittingly helped him to disappear. But in this case, this is all on him. It's what I'm picking up on. Will we ever find out what happened to Kevin? Okay. Yes, we will. It's going to take some time for the public to really get the full understanding and picture of what happened. This is what happened. Rest, eternal rest, with this Four of Swords. Knight of Wands has affirmed that at some point in the future, we will find out. Knight of Wands represents the timing of within 12 weeks. Within 12 weeks. Wands representing the timing of weeks for me, or the season of spring, but I think it's speaking to weeks. And the Queen of Swords, a bitter truth, a bitter truth, a bitter truth about what has happened here. But we will. Some of us who've continued to follow the story will undoubtedly get more information about what happened. Is there anything else? And I guess we can ask, I'm going to pull from my new era elements. What's next in the investigation? Son of Air, Ace of Water. Very soon, I think we're going to hear of what happened. Yeah, very soon. I know it feels like it's been eternity and not much has happened in the case, but at the very least, the authorities are going to be able to reveal to family, if they haven't already, like what they think has happened. And, from there, it's up to the family to do as they wish legally, civilly, if they want to do anything at all, if they can do anything. I don't know if they can, but, there's that. I'm saying that because we have the Son of Air. The pages are about messages, about information, new information coming in, especially as it relates to the Page of Air, Page of Swords, Son of Air. Finding out about this young man's fate, information surrounding it coming through, communication coming through in the months ahead. Air represents the season of winter. We are now just entering autumn. Ace of Water is about, yes, we will get some more information. The family may even know within the next day or two even. I mean, that's maybe a stretch. This is the fastest moving energy, by the way. Water is in the tarot. So it's telling me that information is going to be coming in swiftly to the people who matter. And then eventually we're going to start to get some information. We have vindication, someone being vindicated, maybe the family members, maybe Carnival. That's what I'm picking up on here. Bones. You can deduce from that which you may on that. Computer. There's evidence on his computer. There's evidence, and you know, I always say the cell phone is also a baby computer, but not just his cell phone, but his actual computer or laptop or tablet. There's some information that is related to a computer or device that holds the key. Maybe he explores some certain terms, search terms, and that he was feeling unloved and unwanted in the world, not of value. All right, I'm going to pause here because I'm going to clear off of this section, spread out the cards so I can take a picture, and then see how much time we have, because I may have to do a part 2 to demonstrate to you what came up in my September 16th reading. I don't like to have these videos run too long, but if I can fit it into this video, I will. I'll be right back. All right, my friends, so I did decide to go ahead and just do the September 16th reading in its own standalone video. You can check that out. I'll be sure to link it in the description box because this video, I didn't realize, is rather long. So as such, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, wrap it up here. Let me know what you all think about all of this that has come up in today's reading. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are, what your theories are. On your way out, please do me a favor and hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. All right, stay tuned. I am going to be recording the video where I just briefly discuss what came up in my reading and I will reveal during that time what I ultimately think has happened. I think you all kind of got a spoiler alert with this reading here as to what I'm leaning towards happened. But again, everybody has a right to share their opinion, obviously respectfully, of course. I do also encourage you to use the cards and explore, what comes up for you in a reading surrounding this situation. All right, my friends, take care. Much love, many blessings. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.